Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. First of all, thank you for the opportunity that has been given to us to present our material today. Welcome to today's presentation session. I hope you guys are in a good condition. It's my pleasure to serve as a moderator and also as a presenter. Today we will be discussing about the material, organizing academic speech, introduction, body, and closing. So before we start, let me introduce myself and also my group. I'm Yulia Agnesia.
My name is Siti Sofiatul Masada. My name is Zara Syakira Sari.
And I am Indrawan.
Okay, so without any further ado, let's start with the first material. It's about introduction to academic speech that will be delivered by Siti Sofiatul Masada. To Siti Sofiatul, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. Hello, guys. My name is Siti Sofiatul Masada, and I'm here as a first presenter. We'll be deliver the material about the definition of speech and academic speech, and also the differences between academic and casual speech. So, the first material is about definition of speech, and the main point of this explanation that speech, it means when you speaking in front of people, and the purpose to share information or to solve problem. And speech use words, sounds, or action that carefully chosen by the speaker, but for the meaning can be understood differently by each listener. Next slide. Okay, after we know the definition of speech, we move into the next material about the definition of academic speech. So the main point of this explanation that academic speech is used for formal setting. For example, for seminar, for research presentation, or maybe when you become a public lecturer, you can use academic speech. And academic speech share informative idea based on research and theory. Sorry. Okay, now we move into next material about the differences between academic and casual speech. There are 5 important points on this material. The first are purpose and situation. The first is academic speech. So, academic speech is used for formal situation. You can use academic speech in school, in university, in conference, and the purpose is to delivering or to tell something more clearly and more seriously. But casual speech is used in informal situation, and the purposes for daily life. You can use when you with your friends or your family, and the purposes just to tell something, just to tell story and or just to tell emotion. The second are language style. Academic speech use formal and polite language style. It means it doesn't slang. You can find slang in academic speech. But casual speech used for informal language style. So it means you can find slang on casual speech. For example, you can find slang, construction, or maybe the funny phrase. Okay, the third are vocabulary. Vocabulary and academic speech use more specific and more serious vocabulary, and the vocabulary that used in academic speech also can find on school or academic book. But casual speech use a simple and more daily vocabulary. And of course, according to the second point, you can find slang on casual speech. For example, yeah, or like. You can find on casual speech. Next. The fourth are But casual speech use short or maybe broken sentence. That of course it means the grammar not correct, and you can find filler words. The last point about the differences between academic and casual speech are tone and attitude. Academic speech. Academic speech sounds more serious and more natural and focus to fact and information. But casual speech sounds more relaxed and more personal, and you can find the opinion and emotion in casual speech. So there are the material about the definition of speech and academic speech, and also the differences between academic and casual speech. And the next material will be delivered by Yulia and Lisa as moderator. I will back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Sophia for the presentation. So the next material is about structure of academic speech that will be delivered by me. Okay, so structure of academic speech is the most important part in the session because by mastering this material, the speaker can deliver their speech very well. So, structure of academic speech consists of three main points. The first one is introduction, body, and closing. Let's start with the introduction. The introduction, there are five main elements that we have to consider. The first one is greeting and opening. In academic context, the speaker often use the formal and also polite greetings, such as, for example, hello everyone, or good morning ladies and gentlemen, something like that. It shows the respectful and also and professionalism. The next one is about stating the topic clearly. We need to say clearly what our topic is. For example, today we are going to talk about the impact of social media in our daily life. That statement shows the clear topic that we are going to talk about. So we can, the audience also can more focus on what the speaker delivers. The next one is purpose of the speech. In academic context, it is important for us to only and to explain why the topic matters. We can say something like, the topic is important because it can affect students' academic performance and concentration. Okay, that shows the speech is not only informative but also meaningful. The next one is use hook, such as quote, question, statistic, and etc. A strong academic speech often begins with the relevant or interesting hook. For example, did you know that students spend an average of 3 hours per day on social media? Okay, this kind of hook show to grab the audience attention. And the last one is overview of main point or preview. Before the speaker explain about the main idea, the speaker should deliver the preview. So, in academic speech, it's helpful to preview our structure. We can say something like, first, we will discuss about the advantages of social media. Then, we will talk about the negative impact of social media, and the last one will offer some possible solution. That shows that our speech is organized and logical. So in academic speech, the introduction helps the audience to know what about the topic, why it matters, and also what to expect. It should be formal, clear, and connected to real issues. Okay, next. The next one is about body. There are 4 main elements that we have to consider. The first one is developing main ideas. Usually 2 until 3 main points. In academic speech, it is better for us to only focus on 2 until 3 main points to support our central message. Each idea should relate directly to our topic. For example, there is a topic about online learning. We can make some points like flexibility of schedule or maybe challenges in maintaining students' motivation and etc. The next one is about supporting details such as data, examples, and reasoning. So, academic speeches need strong support. This includes facts, research findings, or examples from relevant sources. This shows that our speech is based on evidence, not only just opinion. For example, according to study by Harvard University 2021, students who took online courses showed a 10% improvement in time management. So that statement show that the speech is more believable. The next one is logical flow and transition. We should use a clear and logical order in our speech so we can move from the one point to another smoothly and understandable. We can use some transition like firstly, moreover, in addition, on the other hand, and finally. That transition can help our speech is more well organized and structured. The last one is use of signposting language. Academic speeches often use signposts of signposting language to help the audience follow their structure. We can use some phrases like let's now look at the second point, or maybe this leads us to the final issues and etc. It can guide the audience, make our speech is easier to follow. So the body of an academic speeches is where we present our main ideas with strong evidence. It should be well organized, clearly explained, and connect to the reliable sources. And we can use the transition and signposting language to make it easier for the listener to follow our speech. Okay? Okay, maybe that's all the material for me. The closing will be continued by my friend Zahra. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you Lia for the opportunity. And the next is the structure of academic speech is closing. Jadi pada bagian penutup ini adalah kesempatan terakhir untuk mendengarkan pesan yang kuat kepada para pendengar. Dan berikut adalah komponen-komponen penting di dalam penutup. Yang pertama ada summary of main ideas. Jadi di sini kita harus menyampaikan kembali poin-poin utama yang telah dibahas secara singkat dan jelas. Karena hal ini dapat membantu audiens mengingat isi pidato dengan lebih baik. Contohnya seperti secara keseluruhan kita telah membahas 3 faktor utama yang mempengaruhi motivasi belajar siswa. Dan yang selanjutnya ada resetting the purpose or thesis. Jadi pada bagian ini untuk kembali tujuan atau pesan utama dari pidato, tapi dengan kalimat yang berbeda dari yang digunakan di bagian pembukaan. Next ada strong closing tema. Jadi dari bagian ini kita harus mengakhiri dengan sesuatu yang berkesan. Bisa berupa seperti call to action atau memorable quote atau conclusion. Dan yang terakhir ada thanking the audience. Yaitu di sini kita harus tutup dengan menyampaikan rasa terima kasih kepada pendengar atas perhatian dan waktunya. Okay, for the next material is language features for academic speech. Okay, when delivering an academic speech, it's important to focus not only on the structure and content, but also on the language features we use. These language features help make our speech sound clear, organized, and professional. Jadi di sini ada three key language features commonly used in academic speech. For the first is use formal language. Formal language is used to show professionalism and politeness. Jadi di dalam pidato akademik disampaikan dalam konteks yang resmi, sehingga kita harus menggunakan bahasa yang lebih formal. Bahasa yang formal itu biasanya ditandai dengan penggunaan kalimat yang lengkap, struktur yang rapi, dan tidak menggunakan singkatan atau bahasa gaul atau kata-kata sehari-hari yang terlalu santai. Next ada appropriate vocabulary and tone. Jadi closing the right words is very important in academic speech. We should use vocabulary that fits the topic and maintain respectful and professional tone. Jadi kita harus menghindari penggunaan kata-kata yang terlalu emosional, kasar, atau terlalu santai. Dan juga nada yang terlalu tinggi, kayak terkesan emosi. Karena dengan memilih kata yang tepat dan nada yang sopan, kita dapat membuat audiens lebih percaya terhadap apa yang kita sampaikan. And last ada use of phonetic and tools of correction. Jadi make sure our speech flows smoothly and is easy to flow. We need to use transition word and cohesive devices. Seperti kayak untuk memulai, kita pakai pertama-tama pada kesempatan ini, awalnya, atau first of all. Dan untuk menjelaskan, kita bisa menggunakan selanjutnya sebagai contoh atau in addition. Terus untuk menyimpulkan, kita bisa pakai sebagai kesimpulan atau akhirnya atau oleh karena itu. Karena dengan menggunakan itu, kita dapat membantu audiens mengikuti alur pembicaraan kita dengan lebih mudah. For the next material will be delivered by Indra. Akan dikembalikan ke moderator.
Thank you Jahra for the So the next material is about effective delivery techniques in academic speech that will be delivered by Indrawan. So Indrawan, the time is yours.
Alright, thank you moderator. So, hello guys. So, in this last part from our group presentation, here we have some technique that you can learn to make your speech better. So the first one is pronunciation and clarity. For the definition by Kamataran, Ziuter, and Gobert in 2023. So the definition is the clear articulation of words and sounds to ensure the audience accurately understand the spoken message, and hyper articulation, a feature of clear speech, has been shown to improve speech intelligibility. So the first one is pronunciation and clarity. When you deliver a speech, you need to address your pronunciation and clarity, so that your audience is not misunderstood what you say. Like yesterday, I go to the beach. If you mispronounce the word beach, pantai, then you will get the about word. Yes, something like that. And here also hyper articulation. You can also use articulation. Articulation is when you speak and making the words very. For better example is when you speak to a child. For example, Indonesian. Jadi saat kita berbicara dengan anak kecil, kadang mereka tidak mengerti apa yang kita bicarakan. Dan supaya mengerti, kadang kita mendikte apa yang kita katakan itu kepada anak kecil. Seperti contohnya, kamu ini kalau makan jangan belepotan ya. That's what you call a hyper articulation. So it's make a point so that your audience or the one you're talking to is understood clearly what you say. So hyper articulation is just how you talk to a child or make something more jelas. Next please. And the next one is eye contact. Here are some article by John Darius et al. Eye contact is a fundamental aspect of non-verbal communication, influencing human interaction, and maintaining eye contact will record with the audience, enhancing engagement. So guys, when you become a speaker in a public space, or when you become a teacher in the next future, you need to always maintaining eye contact, because if you don't maintain eye contact, then your audience will not take you seriously, and that is a bad thing for a speaker. Next please. So, and the next one is gesture and posture. Here are some article by Kate Adam in 2022. Body language significantly impacts audience perception and engagement during public speaking. Furthermore, effective use of gesture and posture conveys confidence and aids in emphasizing key points. So guys, the third one is gesture and posture. So when you deliver a speech, you need to you need to see how your posture is, how your gesture is. As Mr. Joseph said, when you deliver a speech, your placement of your feet, your body needs to be good, so that the audience is not confused. Yes, I think let's just use confused. Distracted. So the audience is not distracted. If you, as a speaker, then you often touch your head, or when you use glasses, you often touch your glasses for readjusting it, or when you use necktie and you often use the necktie or something like this, then it will distract your audience. And this next. And here are the last one for a technique that will make your speech clear. Here are some article by Shami Liani in 2015. Visual aids enhance understanding by illustrating complex ideas and retaining audience attention. They serve also as a motivational tools, improving students' attention and learning outcomes. So, in this part, when you deliver a speech and the speech is containing some number, it is better to be used some visual aids like some charts or even a picture for the better understanding. Here, the incorporation of visual elements like slides, charts, or images to support and illustrate the spoken content will make your presentation or will make your speech delivery technique better. And it will also help your audience to understand it better. Okay guys, so before we begin to our conclusion or the last part of this presentation, here we have some example of academic speech that will be delivered by me, and I'll use Indonesia. So guys, biasanya saat kita ingin memulai sebuah pidato, kita di Indonesia itu biasanya dibuka dengan mukadimah atau pembukaan. Biasa dibuka dengan mukadimah atau pembukaan karena memang kita adalah negara yang mayoritas Islam. Berbeda dengan speech yang biasa dilontarkan di luar negeri sana, yang biasanya dimulai dengan good morning, good afternoon, atau hello everyone. Tetapi jika kita di Indonesia, itu biasanya dimulai dengan mukadimah, yang dimana Saya akan memberikan contoh sebuah mukadimah daripada pembukaan yang biasanya digunakan pada saat pembukaan rapat pada guru-guru yang saya kenal. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya waddin wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursalin amma ba'du. Pertama-tama yang paling utama dan diutamakan oleh keutamaan-keutamaan lainnya, marilah kita panjatkan puji dan syukur kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, yang mana karena rahmat dan hidayahnya kita bisa bertemu kembali pada kesempatan yang berbahagia ini. Salawat serta salam semoga selalu senantiasa tercurah limpahkan kepada Nabi besar Muhammad SAW, yang mana telah membawa kita dari zaman kegelapan menuju ke zaman terang benderang yang bisa kita nikmati pada saat kali ini. Yang terhormat kepada Rektor Universitas Singapura Bangsa Karawang, yang terhormat kepada Dekan Fakultas Universitas Singapura Bangsa Karawang, dan juga dosen-dosen Universitas Singapura Bangsa Karawang yang sangat saya banggakan. Yang saya banggakan dan yang saya cintai teman-teman satu angkatan saya, yang mana pada kesempatan kali ini kita akan memulai langkah kita untuk menapaki jalan-jalan kita ke depannya. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya sebagai perwakilan daripada angkatan ini, sebagai perwakilan dari angkatan ini ingin mengucapkan beberapa kata-kata yang mana mungkin bla 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 pembukaan. Lalu and then in the body. Lalu and then in the body part you can say what you need to say. If you as an example, I'm just a representation of my graduate, and then I will say thank you to all of you, my friend, thank you to all of you, the lecturer, thank you for the time, my experience in the university and etc. But if you are a teacher, when delivering a technique, like when you want to deliver a technique in front, deliver a speech in front of your students' parents, then you need to address it like Bapak Ibu yang saya hormati. Pada kesempatan kali ini saya ingin menyampaikan bahwasanya anak-anak ibu bapak ini sangatlah baik pada semester kali ini, bla 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 bla. And for example, this body for body you can do whatever you want in the body as long as it include syarat or suku, ras, agama, antar golongan. As long as you don't use this for things, because when you deliver public speaking, you can never touch this for sensitive subject. And for the closing, for other example is mungkin hanya itu saja yang dapat saya sampaikan. Apabila ada kesalahan kata, saya mohon maaf karena saya hanyalah seorang manusia yang dipenuhi salah. Untuk itu saya mohon maaf kepada Bapak Ibu, mohon untuk dimaklumi atas kesalahan kata saya. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And as for the example, or if you use some apabila kita bisa menggunakan quote untuk menutup, seperti ada sebuah kata-kata dari Marzuki Teguh yang mengatakan bahwasanya bla 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 itu bisa juga untuk digunakan untuk menutup. Atau jika kita deliver speech pada sebuah acara adat, kita juga bisa menggunakan pepatah atau paribahasa pada adat itu. Saya akan memberikan contoh untuk sebuah penutup yang biasanya orang-orang Sunda gunakan, yang biasanya itu langkung sawu bae care, kubusapan mencara-carakan, lamun cekap, lamun siap punten, permios salis besono, pamitan bagi salis kubusan anak-anak. Ayeuna bade dipungkas ku, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang dimana tadi itu kurang lebihnya ya seperti itu. Maaf apabila ada kesalahan kata, karena sesuatu yang sudah diucapkan itu tidak bisa diambil kembali, dan saya memohon maaf apabila semua yang saya ucapkan itu ada yang tidak benar atau ada yang menyinggung audiens sekalian. Saya memohon maaf dan assalamualaikum. But in English you can just say that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kalau itu saya kembalikan kepada moderator.
Okay, thank you Indrawan for the good. About conclusion that will be delivered by Sofiato.
Thank you, moderator. Okay, guys. Now we going to the last material or conclusion. So the academic speech is a formal mode of communication common in educational and scholarly setting, designed to inform, persuade, or present research findings, and it typically follows a structured format including an introduction that captures attention and outlines the main point, a body that presents organized arguments supported by evidence, and a conclusion that summarizes the main idea and reinforces the speech purpose. The language used is formal, precise, and objective, frequently containing technical terms relevant to the subject matter. Effective delivery technique, such as clear pronunciation, proper eye contact, intentional gesture, confident posture, and the strategic use of visual aids, enhance the clarity and impact of the message. So, by integrating these elements, speakers can successfully express their idea, engage their audience, and maintain the standard of academic discourse. And I will wait to moderator.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much to all the good presenters. Give applause. Okay, now we would like to open Q&A session. If you guys have any question, feel free to raise your hand and ask your question. Okay, question? No? Okay, once again, thank you to our speaker and all participants. We hope this session has given you valuable insights into organizing your academic speeches more effectively.